Dark Souls 1 just saved my life. Before, I was struggling with not long-term patience, but short-term patience. I was struggling to have patience in general in everything I did. I even started to affect my film project a tiny bit. But then, I started playing Dark Souls 1 again. I got past the Copper Demon. I got past some other bosses. But then, some more spoilers from here. The Gaping Dragon. Now, the Gaping Dragon is interesting because, it's not like the other ones I fought. Like, yes, you gotta dodge and this and that, but the thing was, it was big. And the thing about the Gaping Dragon is I realized, hey, if I don't have patience and if I don't improve my build on my character, then I'm never going to beat this thing. I'm never going to get strong enough in the game to be able to complete the Dark Souls 1 playthrough. So I got to work on building my character. I'm still building it. And as I was grinding and building, I realized something. It was kind of like real life. And Dark Souls 1 kind of reflected, like my playthrough reflected what I was going through in real life. But the biggest difference between the playthrough and real life was, here I was having patience. And the patience I was having, because if you don't have patience, then everything good, everything life will eventually reward you with, the positive things. You have to go through a negative first, but they will never come to you unless you have patience. Dark Souls 1 changed not only my life, but my perspective, and it taught me what patience means. Patience is something that a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people struggle with the fact that patience, is hard to achieve or not achievable. It's a really difficult skill to develop. But Dark Souls is different from other games when it comes to patience. Like in Sekiro, spoilers for that one too, you have to deflect. Instead of dodging like you do in Dark Souls, you have to deflect what do you call it? Well, they call it parry. Yeah, they call it parrying. And you take an aggressive kind of stance. Like, you have to be on top of the bosses. But that's not the case in Dark Souls. Dark Souls is kind of like Elden Ring and all this other stuff is different compared to each of the other From Software games. Like, the Dark Souls series is different. You don't just aggressively attack and stay on top of the boss. You're patient and you wait for openings. You wait for openings, and when you're fighting the boss. And then what you do is once you get the openings, you find a way to get past those challenges through long-term effort and patience. Trust me, I love Sekiro, but Dark Souls taught me something just as important as having self-confidence and getting back up even when life begins to beat you down or keeps beating you down. Before I made Sekiro Saved My Life video, however, in that video I mentioned how, and I saw a lot of comments on it too, and there was one in particular. I'm going to keep it anonymous. I completely butchered that word. But the thing about Dark Souls 1, that I saw when people talk about it, is that these people were kindly saying, well, the other Souls games are important too because they also saved my life. I saw one was Dark Souls 3, one was Dark Souls 1, one was Elden Ring. I know they'll eventually be one about Bloodborne. Because let's face it, Bloodborne fans are passionate, and I appreciate that. I respect that. But the thing about me playing Dark Souls compared to the other FromSoft games is, and I can see why this was voted the number one best game of all time in one of some game awards, whatever, because it not only fights depression and loneliness, it fights a third kind of battle. It helps the player with its psychology and how it fights. And even more, I usually call it spoilers ahead for lessons in Dark Souls, but it helps battle not only patience but depression as well. Depression is a difficult subject to tackle because everyone gets depressed in different ways. Some are angry, some are just extremely sad, some are both. Because human emotions are kind of a unique kind of, it's kind of complex. Because not everyone's different, not everyone's the same. And what it teaches you, especially about that, is that there's going to be times in your life where you're going to have to embrace solitude. There's going to be times in your life where you're going to have to embrace the unknown, the uncertainty, and sometimes be depressed a little bit. I know a lot of people got into Elden Ring. That's like on the FromSoft games. But the fact that the character's also called the Chosen One is honestly deserving, because at the end of the day, he is the Chosen One. Because Demon Souls led the dark. Yeah, okay, fantastic. I think we're in that. But Dark Souls, unlike Demon Souls, created a legacy that would outlive itself. Demon Souls just started it. Dark Souls finished it. Dark Souls 1, I haven't completed it, and I'm going to complete this game, because in honor of it teaching me about what patience is, I'm completing Dark Souls 1. Okay? Dark Souls 1, to me, is not only about understanding patience, but coming to terms with reality, and not just reality, but how to overcome depression and anxiety and loneliness. And that's the third one. Loneliness is when it can be different. Sometimes you don't have friends, sometimes your social life sucks, sometimes your coworkers are bad, sometimes you talk to. Loneliness has many, but there's one thing that unites it all. Loneliness a lot of times can lead to depression. But depression, like I said, it's different for everybody, just like human emotions are different for everybody. And loneliness too. But I could keep talking on and make this a 10-minute video, which it already is at this point, kind of almost. But the point is, Dark Souls 1 saved my life last night. I don't know where I'd be, what kind of mind state of mind I'd be in. I don't know, because I am a stop motion artist, and that sucks up a lot of my patience doing that stuff. So when I do other things, I'm lacking in the patience. Like, I can go on, but the point is, Dark Souls, Miyazaki, FromSoft, the original people who are at FromSoft, who retired from there, I don't care, those who work in the game, who praise it, thank you for creating this masterpiece and the best game of all time. Because I think Dark Souls might be one of the best games of all time. But at the end of the day, thank you for Dark Souls for saving my life and teaching me and explaining what patience is. Because at the end of the day, all patience is go check out Dark Souls.